Hello everybody, this is your host, Odd Job Entertainment, bringing you another video today. Do our quick sound check, make sure that everything is working. Looks like it is. Sweet! OBS update did not break anything. Fingers crossed that it stays that way. Evening, Draconis. How we doing tonight? Awesome, awesome. Yeah, audio looks like it's working. I've been playing a bit offline, just collecting some resources. Actually, I had a pretty good black on black. Oh, you're talking about the shirt. Okay, you know what? If you're gonna make a big deal about it, let's do this. Got another t-shirt. There. Stop whining. Oh, Back in Black. Okay, AC/DC. Dang. Yes, Back in Black. Back in the saddle again. There's another reference for you. Back in Black. I hit my nutsack. Have you guys heard that video? Because that's not the actual lyrics. What AC/DC sounds like to fans that are not, or to not AC/DC fans. That's a reference to that one. I actually love AC/DC. I grew up on heavy metal and 80s rock, so I love it. Good. I see YT is still not showing my actual SN, but meh. Yeah, Draconis, that is... I can't remember how to say your name. This one. Morris Dreck. There we go. Morris is one of our biggest suppliers for the modifications that I make, available on things. So if you are looking for someone to produce those for you, Morris does that. The reason why I have it set up that way is it would be a full-time job to manage all the hardware and logistics, and I don't want to do any of that. So instead, I give other people the opportunity to make some money and sell my designs for me, and I just sell the files. So that's the way I like to do it. I think it works a little better for the kinds of things that I want to do. This is how far we got last time. Not super stoked with how it was going, so I think I'm going to pivot a little bit and start over. We're not that far ahead, so it's not a big deal. But if we back it up to here, this is the classic scenario of measure twice, cut once. I measured once and now I'm cutting twice. I'm measuring once, cutting twice, measuring again, doing more measuring. Oh yeah, trip was great. I actually had a folder pulled up of some photos I took. If you guys are not aware, I took my very first cruise along the Baja Peninsula. I served a LDS mission for 2 years in Tijuana, and actually every area of my mission except for one, the U.S.-Mexico border, was the northern limit of my area. So pretty interesting. So 2 years in Mexico. this was my first time being back in Mexico, and we picked this cruise because it's areas that were part of my mission boundaries. And I don't think at the time we realized how we had essentially booked the quintessential booze cruise because it's the Baja Peninsula. So people were hammered on the boat pretty much all hours. But, you know, I mean, that doesn't really apply to me and mine, but it was a fun trip nonetheless. But we started off in Long Beach, and we took 2 days to get down to Cabo San Lucas, which is the... Here, let's just pull up a map. Map of Mexico. It was pretty rough. The nickel and diming was real. We're going to get into a little bit of that. So we started here in Long Beach, and we went all the way south to Cabo San Lucas. And then from there we turn around and start heading north again. And we stopped off in Ensenada. And then from Ensenada back to Long Beach, California. And it was a lot of fun. I've got some pictures to show you here. This was an Airbnb that we stayed at, or it's just outside an Airbnb. The building's over here off to the right. Long Beach weather kind of sucks, and you know, that's one of the biggest lies that Hollywood tells you, is that California has this beautiful bright blue skies. I've been to San Diego, I've been to Los Angeles, I've now been to Long Beach, and I never see that weather. It's always overcast and gray when I go. So I feel a little ripped off by California. That's my brother and his girlfriend. I took a picture of the whale tail of the boat because it's part of the actual mechanical system, and I thought that was pretty cool. You'll see exhaust plumes coming out at certain parts of the day, where I suppose it's because the temperature differential is higher, so you get some more condensation coming out. Myself and my sister, she's my favorite. That's my mom back there. There you go. There's some exhaust coming out. A little selfie, you know. This is the view out of my parents' room. It was really nice and peaceful. Lot of fun. And this is just before I had to do the fat walk of shame. This was horrible. But this is just outside the port of Cabo San Lucas. You can't get closer, or you can't pull into a port like we could in Ensenada. So this is, you just stop here, and then you have boats that ferry you to the land. And what we had intended to do was we wanted to do the zip line that's available in Cabo San Lucas. So my sister and I were getting ready to go do that, and it had a weight limit posted. It was 260 pounds, and I am over that, but in my head I was thinking it's probably for physicality, right? Because no way is the safety factor on these cables that tight that you can't be a few pounds over, right? Like it's just got to be a guideline so that people don't sign up that are not physically capable of completing the activity. Well, my sister and I went and waited in that room, then we were ferried to a boat, then we were literally ferried to the land, and just before getting on a bus, the guy pulls out a scale and literally weighs everybody. And again, I am over, but I figured it's a physicality thing. It would not let me get on. So that was pretty embarrassing. Had to walk back to the boat. Didn't get to do the zip line. Might have cried a little bit. It was pretty humbling because, you know, I've been working out since April. And, you know, I've been dieting. I've been working out. I see a doctor. I'm starting some medication. I'm trying to get everything under control. But I've been putting in a really solid effort for 6 months. and I just don't have anything to show for it on the scale. You know, I mean, if you look at the physical capability that I have, it's significantly better than it used to be. Like, I'm benching 210. My lateral raise on the machine, at least, is 110. But yeah, wouldn't let me on, so I had to do the fat walk of shame. That wasn't fun. But my family did get to experience a little bit of what I saw on my mission, and that part was cool. Took some more photos. Really beautiful area, and the rocks and the sunset really lend itself to some great photos. Took a lot of panoramas. I thought this one was cool just because you get some cool silhouetting. And then we went up to Ensenada and we checked out the bufadora. Bufar is to make a snorting sound like a buffalo does. And bufadora is called that because it does make a sound kind of like that when it does pop up, but it's a natural blowhole. So if you imagine like the inside of a whistle, you have water that flows in through the inlet, and then the subsequent waves will pressurize it and launch the water out through the outlet. So you get sprays of about 140 feet, I think is what the statistics say. Prior to getting to the bufadora, you do a quarter-mile drag through a busy street where people are trying to sell you stuff on both sides. I saw stuff like that for 2 years, but it was a new experience for both of my my mom and my sister. They had never experienced anything, and my sister, she was so cute. She's like, Jake, I told that guy I'd come back, and now he's looking at me, waiting for me to come back, and I don't want to go back. That is so funny. But don't worry, I protected her. We got through it. I am talking to a physician about Ozempic Arrow. Not Ozempic specifically, but one of the other peptides. I think they want to do tirzepatide. I can't remember what the name. Zepbound. Yeah, they want to put me on Zepbound. I'm just trying to figure out if I can finance it and how to do that intelligently. So I am looking at it. Got this cool hat in Mexico. My dad got this one. It started off at $300. Talked him down to $125. Probably could have got it down to $50 if we had more time, but we only had like an hour. This is taken inside the Cultural Center in Ensenada, and it has these beautiful wormwood ceilings. And if you look closely, you see these striations. That's done intentionally. They allow they drag the wood through a freshwater bog, and then it collects worm larvae. They allow the worms to mature and eat the wood, and then they cure it in salt water, which kills the worms, but also cures the wood. So it's done intentionally. And this is inside the casino. These holes are observation points, so you'd have guards above this watching the players, trying to see if anyone's being a card cheat. There, another shot of the observation points. Took a picture with this guy. He told me I speak great Spanish, and I told him that he does too. So, you know, mutually complimentary. They had a pretty good taco place on ship. They also had a really good pizza place, but the guy looked like he wanted to murder all of the guests. He was never happy, never smiling anytime someone walked up to get pizza. And he had a 1,000-yard stare, just like he hated being there. So felt bad for the guy, but he made really good pizza. Some shots of the port in Ensenada, the moon coming up, and I think that's it. So yeah, it was super fun. I've never been on a cruise like that before, so it was a new experience for me. I really enjoyed being able to point out elements that I remember from my mission. Like in Ensenada, for instance, it's pretty common to see cisterns on top of the houses because there's not consistent water utilities available. And so you will fill your tank when you can, and then you'll hope that it lasts during the utility cutoff periods. Yeah, there's also a very typical construction method in Baja California where you like build the outline of a box with cement and rebar, and then you fill it in with cinder blocks, and then the utilities get bolted on. So like you can kind of see the evolution of a building and point out like what parts are older and what parts are probably newer. So all that kind of stuff was super fun. Seeing the Bufadora was really cool because I had heard about that during my mission for 2 years. Hadn't been able to go there because my mission had me staying. I actually served here in Tecate. I was in Mexicali, and when I was not close to the border, I was here in San Luis Rio Colorado. And then in Tijuana, there was a few places. I was in Miramar, Urbi Delicias. Miramar should be like right around here somewhere, I think. Because I know you can see, I remember seeing the ocean from there. Yeah, I love the people. Don't have a particular love for the place. Tijuana's not very nice. Other parts of Mexico are much better. Did you enjoy it? Will you go on another cruise in the future? Yes, absolutely. We are already trying to plan one for 2027. We want to do Europe. So, I would really love to do a Mediterranean. Maybe not necessarily as a cruise. I would love to have more time in like Rome, for instance, to see and experience the artwork. I really love a lot of the old world art. And so I would love to do a trip to the Mediterranean, but we're going to be doing another cruise to the British Isles sometime in 2027. Welcome, Sabanzi 12i. I'm doing great. Yep, we play Star Citizen. It is like a whole second life. This last time that I was on, I actually joined up with a new org. They were looking for some recruits, and I made quite a bit of money doing that. I prefer playing with people. So to answer your question, I do play solo a lot, but not by choice. That's just how it is as a Star Citizen player a lot of the time. But I much prefer to play with people. My parents, their first cruise was Alaska. That was the one that they did before coming back home and getting us all assigned to go to Mexico. Japan Sapporo mission. The one area I was in we called the end of nowhere. Why was it the end of nowhere? For us, that would be Guerrero Negro. Because I'm probably just going to have to leave this up in a second tab. Let's see. Guerrero Negro is it's supposed to be down here somewhere, I think. But I think it's more... Yeah, here we go. So this was the area that people did not like getting sent to, and the only reason for that is the mission office. So the principal logistics center is up here in Tijuana. So if you were assigned to Guerrero Negro and you had like packages or meetings to go to or anything that involved logistics, it was kind of miserable dealing with that. Packages, you were probably waiting until your next transfer, and then you could pick them up during exchanges in the mission office. If it was an important meeting, you were taking a long bus ride to get all the way up north to the closest area. Watch the ocean freeze over. Has a single car train, the easternmost point of Japan. The branch was a single family plus about 3 other people. There were signs along the road telling Russia to give their islands back. Huh. Alright. Travel to new and exotic places. Meet interesting people. But yeah, I really loved the cruise. It was a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing another one, and I definitely need to go traveling more. Hello. The train came only twice a day, with a 3-hour ride to the closest big city, Kushiro. Would often hit deer and stop to clear the tracks. Sick. To be clear, I'm not happy that deer are getting hit on the tracks. It would be preferable that they not stand in front of the train. But yeah, I can imagine that gets pretty frustrating when you don't want to be on the train as it is, and now you're waiting more. Oh boy. Okay, let's just wipe everything clean. Get rid of it all. Okay, dot. I'm gonna make these vertical, and we're going to rely on this more as a guideline going forward. Try and get that centered best we can. And I'm measuring a 6mm horizontal distance here. Let's confirm that on the opposite side. Yeah. Now, let's get that vertical distance. Looks like about 10mm. Like that. And then that's all I want to put in this sketch. Let's go here to sketch 2. We looked up the actuation distance of these switches last time, and it was 0.5 millimeter. No, wait. Was that right? Oh, I think it was 1/4. Was it not? Now I have to double check. Electromechanical. Might be that one. But I remember finding one that looked very, very close. So I'm going to keep going a little bit. How is volume so far? Am I too loud? Too soft? Am I peaking? Okay. Good, good. Come on, show me the yellow button. Okay. Maybe. Okay, did I miss it? Let's just use this one as an approximation. It seems like it's very, very close. Operating force, actuator length. No, I need the distance. Okay, so this is saying 0.3 millimeters. Wait, plunger travel 0.3 plus or minus 15 millimeters? What? Seems like an odd way to write that. Did I find it on DigiKey? Is that what it is? It's probably DigiKey. Here we go. Yes. That's the switch. Okay. Yeah, okay. 1/4 millimeter. I was right. Look at that. Oh. That should be construction. And then this is our actuation distance. I'm going to beef it up a little bit so that we have some margin of error. Sorry if I'm going in and out a lot. I hope it's not making anyone motion sick. But the reason why we're drawing these lines is we're giving ourselves some solid constructions to be able to plot 2 points that are important for the travel of our switch lever. When at rest, we want our hemispherical nodules to be touching here and here. And we want the downward movement to equal this angle and the upward movement to equal this angle. And I believe there is a way to do a measured variable. I don't think it's that one. I think there's an officially supported one. Oh wait, yes, I think I remember how to do it. This guy. Look at this. No, is it not going to... I don't think it'll let me measure an angle, though. Okay, that's lame. I can just do it this way. So, we're going to do some rounding, again, to give ourselves some fudge factor. I'm going to set these both to angles. Our down angle I'm going to set as 1.3. Our up angle I'm going to set as 1.5. And then we can reuse our pivot tolerance. Wait, wasn't there a pivot tolerance plus measured bore? There we go. Let's do that. Make those as large as we can so that the contact surface is a little smoother. Now this is the trickier part because there's not a ton of space there, but I should have some space. The picture is, I think, being a little deceiving here. Because I should have about 5 millimeters in front of this button. So as long as I don't cross that point, I should be okay. So let's not pin myself down with the vertical constraint. That was probably a little premature. Thanks for sending that, Wills. Okay, now I do need to work under those posts. The distance between those posts and the button is 9 millimeters. And then from those posts to the lip I need to clear. About 11 down vertically. It's not supposed to be horizontal. And about 10 from our pivot. All right, so we can't touch these points. We can do some more work to kind of draw a boundary by drawing some circles to these points. Wait, I need this to be down here. So now this is where it gets a little tricky because you need to keep the distances in mind. Well, I don't need to draw this one up here. This one's going to be my tighter constraint, so I'm just going to put the measurement for that one. But this needs to actually be the up angle. Don't actually need those. I just need to avoid that point, which is now easy that I've established this. But this should give me enough clearance that I can set this line to be coincident with that point, and I should be able to still actuate it up without running into any of the joystick casing. Okay. All right. One at a time, I suppose. Set that one equal to that one. There we go. Okay. Now we need to create our little finger button. And I want to keep this as close to the stick as possible, because if it becomes too much of a reach, you're not going to use it. And I want it to be comfortable for the user. So let's start our button about here. Well, actually, this is our exit point, right? So we can set our distance off of that. Let's try that. Bring it in as tight as we can. Actually, let's not set it off that angle. Let's set it off horizontal. There we go. And then that length needs to be at least 1. And I'm just going to keep it a simple paddle shape for now. I have some ideas for like some cosmetic options that we can look at in the future. Like maybe a flat face trigger, a really accentuated curve trigger. If I get the core functional geometry working good, I think that there is room to make a lot of different cosmetic customization options. I've even thought of like doing a skeletonized trigger. Like something like that might be pretty cool. So I want to get the basic foundations covered, and then we can look at making it neat. I also made this harder on myself by trying to do it all as one piece to start. One piece, get it? And I don't need to. I can take my time with it. Nope. Not what I wanted. So let's start with that, for instance. And I do need the piece that I was modeling off of from before. I'm not sure where it went though. You know, I remember being a kid and thinking, man, when I'm an adult, no one's going to get me to do chores. I'm going to do whatever I want. And the reality of being an adult is that I'm the one that has to tell me to do chores. And I hate that about myself. And then when chores don't get done, and you can't find anything, then it's like, what are you doing? Why don't you clean your room? Clean up your room. I turn into my own Jordan Peterson. And it's miserable. It's the worst. Ah. Clean your room. I wonder if it's just too dark right now for me to see it. If I turn on some lights, will my knowledge be illuminated? No. No further illumination was gained. The heck? Turn off. There we go. Well, I think that's a problem for off-screen me to solve. For now, let's just assume that it was 1 centimeter width, and we'll roll with that because I should still be able to test the geometry. And then we're going to extrude this face and this face and this one. But we're going to set them as removes, make it symmetrical, and set it to 0.8. And there we go. Here is our newest iteration of the front flip switch. Before I send this to print, I'm going to do some beauty fillets. Not really beauty fillets. I'm looking to reduce stress concentrations. Don't you wish you could do that for yourself? Just give yourself a fillet and reduce your stress concentrations. Okay, it really does not like those edges fine. I can at least do those ones. Oh, that's why. There's a gap here. Let's fix that. Now it'll probably let me do it. Hey, look at that. Okay, what else is going on here? Oh, there's still a little bit of a gap. So if we roll this back to before the fillet, we can see why that's being created. It's just that little bit of a corner is sticking out. There. So, it took me a minute to find it, but it is worth it to find why it's causing the issue. It's just sometimes I want to be lazy and just skip that step. But it wasn't that bad. So now it's gonna be a little better. It's gonna help with the printability and the resiliency of the part. So it's definitely worth doing. It's kind of a pain sometimes. This one wasn't too bad though. So there's our new part. And if we bring back sketch 1 to talk about what my plans are for the rest of it, what I think is going to be different about version 3, and you guys can tell me what you think about this if you have any strong opinions. The way it currently works is to keep the dual stage action of the primary trigger. I'm making it so that when you pull the trigger, both triggers move together. So the second trigger doesn't actuate because it's not physically touching the button yet, but it does move in sync with the primary trigger. What I'm thinking of doing differently for this next iteration is making it so that the secondary trigger is more or less static, resting against its switch, and when you pull the primary trigger, it moves without moving the secondary trigger until you pull it all the way through, and then it will run into the secondary trigger geometry and force it to press the next button. My hope is that that will result in a more tactile response for the secondary button, because that seems to be where the hang-up is happening. That makes it so that it feels kind of muddled. So that's the thought. And that will still allow me to get the split trigger function, and you'll still be able to activate the secondary trigger without activating the first stage. It'll just be a little different in how the two halves are related to each other. And what happened here? How did you end up... That is so odd. See, where are we having our hang up? Why won't it let me... Ooh. All kinds of stuff going on there. Let's get rid of these ones for now. Is there something? Ooh, it's that one. I think. Was it? Okay, wait, no. These are parallel. Maybe they don't need to be. Okay, that should be better. Whoops, wrong button. There. That should be much, much better. Same thing happened up here, though. Why? It's another one of those ones. The midpoint one throwing me off. There. All right. That should work. And we ended up with some weirdness. Let's fix that. Shouldn't be too difficult. I think it'll be faster if we just redo Sketch 4 because there's not a whole lot going on. And I actually simplified it along the way too. Cool. Simple's always good. Okay, where did that come from? Ooh, okay. That's where it came from. Okay, so the important parts of this, I wonder how many times I say okay in a stream when I'm just trying to like organize my thoughts internally. The critical parts of this piece are where it touches the buttons, the rotation, and where it exits the joystick. The shape and style of the paddle completely up for changing. And we will be exploring lots of different options in the future. I'd like to make it so that people can customize it to their heart's content. We might even release a version of the... I'm not committing to this, but we might release a version of the file that has just this and the means of changing the paddle. And we might make a version that does that. But again, not committing, but I do want this to be very customizable. I think what we have right now is a comfortable shape that should feel good against the fingers. So let's print this and see how it does maybe tonight. And if I remember correctly, our process for assuring the proper scale is to export as 3MF, open in Orca Slicer, close it, and then or save it, and then open it in G2Box. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. I'm getting better at this. Cheetah box, you drive me nuts. That looks like an okay orientation. I think I'll roll with it. Okay, it is sending. At least I think it's sending. Should be sending. Oh, there we go. Maybe it just didn't update. And I think the lights in the garage are on right now. So we might be able to see what's going on inside the printer. Okay. There's another K. Jeez. I become very self-conscious of that when I am being watched by people. Or in theory being watched by people. I'm going to trust that that's doing its thing. while I work on some other stuff here. And close all that. Star Citizen has Twitch drops now, and I was supposed to figure out how to get this started for you guys for maybe I'm okay though, because it says welcome to Nix with our first ever Twitch drops event from November 20th through December 3rd. Tune into any drops enabled Star Citizen stream for a total of 4 hours to unlock the Geist Epic armor set. A complete suit of armor and backpack, all free. It's the perfect time to jump in, explore Nix, and gear up for adventure. So I think that this is a hugely positive thing. It's open to everybody. There's no financial requirement, which I'm always in favor of. I always want it to be play or interact with the game first and foremost, and that's exactly what this is. You just have to watch a Twitch stream, that's going to boost the Star Citizen name in the Twitch algorithm, which I think is great. It will get new eyes on the game. We need fresh blood. We need lots of fresh blood to fund this behemoth. So I think that this is a very smart move. I think it's a positive. I have no qualms about this. And it looks like I'm not late to the party yet either. I just need to figure out what I need to do by November 20th to get this enabled. But it looks like that would be our next stream. Right? 21st will be our next stream. Oh, that's easy. I can do that. I can do that. I guess the question is, which one do I want to link it to? I'll probably link it to the... No, this is how you earn it, right, as a player. So I need to figure out how I activate it. So I'll have to explore that probably off stream. I think it looks pretty cool. It's not exactly my style. I prefer, I don't want to say industrial, but I like my armor to look a bit more sleek, maybe is the word to give it. Like, I like the detailing. It's just not something that I'd wear all the time. They've been doing more of these patterns recently, though. I think it's good because it adds variety. You know, I'm not complaining. It's just, you know, it's not for me. That's okay. Not everything needs to be for me. Let's see. Looks like it's printing fine. All right, so I'll let that cook. IAE is coming up next week, so you can take a look at this. I think we looked over it briefly last week. Perseus is obviously the biggest thing that people are looking forward to. There are a number of new ships to check out. There's the Stinger. People are kind of let down by that one. My opinion is it's not bad to have bad ships. I think that the problem that Star Citizen runs into with the ship-based model or funding model is that in order to make money, every ship needs to be good. And that doesn't necessarily make for a living, breathing universe, in my opinion. Because sometimes car manufacturers make an Aztec. Sometimes people make mistakes, and design engineers should get fired for those. So I think it's healthy for a game like Star Citizen to have a couple duds. Also, this is an alien ship. We're going to be killing tons of these. It's just like the elites in Halo. They don't play exactly like Spartans. They behave a little differently. That's done intentionally, because if you were facing off against Master Chief every time an elite stepped onto the field, you would not win, and you want the players to win. So I think it's perfectly acceptable for especially the alien ships that are the main antagonists of the campaign to not be that good. Does it suck for people that spend money on it to have it not be good? Yeah, it does. But I think that is ever more incentive for CIG to start shifting away from a ship-based funding model and start moving more towards cosmetics. My wife had to drive an Aztec for work for years. Ew! That's disgusting. The Aztec is notorious as just being one of the ugliest cars in existence, and it earns the title. It fights for it very hard. That was also the car Walter White drove, wasn't it? Am I huffing something right now? Walter White car season 1. Ah, yeah, I knew it. Yeah. Drives this horrible Aztec. Ugh. Disgusting. Disgusting. I'm trying to think if there was anything I wanted to cover before swapping into the game. But I think we're good. I definitely need to hit this button before I hit launch game. Had a funny story happen off stream. Unfortunately, I was not recording, so you'll just have to take my word for it. I know, Pixar didn't happen, but there was someone in chat saying 20 million to someone who kills X player, right? And at the time, I had some cargo trades go very south, where a server error caused me to lose my cargo. Super fun. And I was short money, so I saw that and was like, yeah, that sounds like an easy 20 million. So I sent that player, the intended victim, a party invite. And guess what? They accepted it. And so I had a direct waypoint all the way to Pyro from Stanton. I met them in the station. Played like, oh yeah, I'm happy to join up. What's up? What ship we taking? And then as soon as we got into the hangar, I gunned him down and got my 20 million. It was funny because we were joining another group of players, and so there was like 8 people in the hangar waiting for us. This guy steps out, gets gunned down very suddenly, and then I just dip. Yeah, it's doing the thing. Does this sometimes. I think I need to reset it. working? Sorry guys, I'm trying. Oh, I think we got it that time. All right. Woo! It's working now. Yay! So, for tonight, I want to do something that I've never done before. And that is Hull C cargo trading. I know. Riveting stuff. But supposedly you can make pretty good money doing it. And I'm kind of sick of doing the siege missions. But I have also acquired quite a few ships since the last time we were streaming. This Firebird's been very useful for those missions. I also got myself a... Never mind, it's gone. Oh wait, no, it's just because I'm in the small hangar. It's probably still available. I think we're okay. I have a C2. that I was able to purchase with the 20 million for killing that player. Pretty dope. And where is the Hull C sold? If you don't know this website, this is Seastone. It is linked in our game resources channel right here. But if it can be sold in the game, you can find it on here. And now that I think about it, a lot of this functionality is kind of being taken over by UEX. UEX, I think, does also have the same functionality built in. It's at TISA. There we go. Oh, do you think I don't have the funds, Kimosabe? Take a gander at this. Boom! Yeah! I've been working hard. Got me another 20 million. How you like them apples? And actually what happened was there was another org that invited me to play. They were offering money to crew a Polaris. So for like 30 minutes of work, they sent me 20 million. It's kind of cool. Let's just shut that off. There we go. That's better. There's my baby. So pretty in the Hurston livery. Am I dumb though? I'm already at TISA, aren't I? Yep, I am. So there's no trip to be made. I just need to go through the elevator. You know what? It's just because I wanted to see the ship. That's what it is. Right? I mean, how can we not appreciate the Zeus? It is a beautiful ship. Someone should really get around to making a redo of the Constellation. That ship's in need of an update. I think there was a YouTuber who was like making a 3D printable model of that. Wish they'd hurry up. Ooh. Frames took a dip here. I'm sure the dead bodies have nothing to do with that. Are either of these goobers actually using the terminal? Alright, CIG, if you're watching, we need more terminals, bud. It's not purchasable out here, is it? That would be convenient. You know what? Let's do this. I need to take a bit of a bio break anyways, so let's let them do their thing while I go take care of that. Alright. We're back. Good. One of them left. What's this guy doing? Just pondering life, I suppose. Misk. Hull C. Okay. It's done. We got it. It's ours. We still got a cool 5 mil left. What was that? Am I in Chicago? Did you guys hear that? Someone just got shot. That's him! What was that?
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
See, there we go. I do have the Hercules. Made me nervous there for a bit.
Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the... Please visit us again. Goodbye.
I'm fairly certain we have toured this ship on stream before. I think we've done it as part of previous IAE events. But there's a difference here because this one is mine. This is my very own Space Phallus. So it does have 4 tractor beams, right? One for each of the primary arms. It's really long. There's our little elevator. Oh, gotta come around on this side. Uppies. Here we go. Take me up. So there's our airlock to the outside. Don't want to use that right now. Suit lockers, weapon locker, main thoroughfare. Escape pods. And here's the main spindle, while closed at least. Got some rendering going on with the door, that's kind of fun. Here's our power plant room. It's really a deceptively large ship on the inside. Got our engineering panel and our fire extinguisher. Gonna take the ladder. Ladders hurt me less. What is this? Oh, another escape pod for engineering crew. Component access. Here's our coolers. I do still want to make a Star Citizen themed PC. Just one of those things that has been put on the back burner. I need money. I need more money. Buy joystick parts. Shields, power plant, or what is this? What did it say? Jump drive. Okay. And then some pretty spinning lights. More component access, I think, up here. Oh. Exit to the outside. Oh, okay. Evac suit for the engineer. Here's a neat trick. If you want to get down ladders faster, just go backwards off them. And then you'll be able to just fall down. Oh, need to go down the other one too. Just got to be careful about getting stuck on them again at the bottom. But this is deck 1, so there's not a deck 0. So I think everything else is further astern. Wait a minute. Nope, I'm definitely missing something. Ah, okay, here we go. Ladder going up. Enter engineer seat. Look, they have a seat just for me. How cool. Is that for the tractor beam? Got our kitchen. And our combined crew quarters. It's a very compact use of space. But thankfully there is at least a airlock's worth of separation between the toilet and the food. So you got that going for you. And then here's our cockpit. Avionics access. Doesn't really do anything right now. Radar, same thing. And then I think this one is the pilot suit. Yes. Oh, come on. Let's see. Let's get a little closer, maybe. Nope, this is as close as it lets us get. Let's do a takeoff that Hybrid V would be proud of. There, that wasn't terrible. Oh no, it has VTOL? I screwed it up. Oh no. No one sent him this video. He's gonna get on me for not using the VTOL. Dang it. I waited for the doors to open and everything. And I know he also gets on people for... I know he also gets on people for not having set a route. However, most of the time when I try to set it from the planet surface, I feel like it doesn't work. So I prefer to do it after I've gotten some distance. What is that sound? Am I in a voice chat somewhere? No, I'm not. Is that just the engine backfiring? Okay, gotta keep our bigger maneuvering thrusters underneath us so that we don't lose control again. Now, I think what I do is I land first, right? I go inside and I buy the cargo. There, I'll switch off so that you guys don't have to listen to that. I land, I go buy the cargo, and then I take off again and I go to the cargo area. Right? Oh, no, we got a dock. Wills is saying no. What am I getting wrong, Wills? Yeah, but the admin terminal's inside. Oh, okay. All right. I got you now. Um. Okay. Am I not like all the way lined up? What's going on? Whoa! Crap. Ah! Did I hold N? I was holding the button on my joystick that corresponds to N. At least that repositioning player was quick. It's been buggy for me lately, so at least it actually happened. Is it just N though, or
Has been delivered to the following locations. Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system. Goodbye. Your insurance
oof,
has been sent.
it's gonna be rough.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
All right, well that's okay because I need to plan out the route that we're gonna do. So let's see. We are at Everest. And it sells ammonia in high quantity. Audio-visual equipment? Is that actually being sold? Oh, wait. No, I'm looking at this wrong, aren't I? These are the ones that you buy. So I can buy carbon. Carbon's pretty cheap though. Can we do something better? Titanium might be good. So if we buy that here, and then where can we sell it? Arc L3. So we're buying it at 388, selling at 188. We could go to Pyro, but I want to keep things real safe for now. So let's plan on doing that. But that's pretty low profit, isn't it? Is there anything better we can do? Scrap? Where can we sell scrap? Yeah, definitely not these. Because those are planet side for 1, and for 2, they're hotspot. We don't want to go there. Do we want to go to the gateway? 1761. I think that might be the run, right? Yeah, that looks like it'll be significantly more profitable at least. So let's see if we can do that. I don't think that player knew I was there. I'm so sneaky. Why is it not letting me? Okay. Have terminals been bugged for anyone else, or is that just a me thing? Wow, that's insane. Almost 3,000 SCU. Pickup from cargo deck required. So now I think we're primed to... Oh, people are actually using VoIP. That's cool. Can't remember what I have mine routed to. Bound to, routed to. No, it says that about keybinds. Come on, use your words, Jake. Oh, slipped through the floor there. Yeah, that's a neat trick. Hope your knees don't hurt. Hope you got the extra soft knee pads.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system. Your insurance claim has been sent.
All right, 9 minutes. Yeah, I did buy it to the Hull C. But you still have to, like... It still said I had to, like, bring it to the deck, right? Like, you still have to, like, fly into the space. Tip for newbies, if anyone's watching, or if any newbies are watching. If you let this timer go down to 0, you will end up spending less to expedite. And you don't lose any time because there's a minimum expedite time. I can't change this by paying the fee early. So it doesn't hurt me to just let that time out. And then I'll end up paying much less. So when you're a new player and you're short on funds, that's definitely the way to go to avoid getting yourself into a financial hole. Speaking of finances, anyone else watch Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer? I don't know how I've not watched his videos before. I see clips of him all the time. But man, that has been my new reality TV show. I have been consuming that like like a mosquito with blood, like a hummingbird to nectar. It is so entertaining, and it makes me feel a little better about myself. You know, I am not the worst off with my finances. I'm doing okay compared to a lot of people making horrible decisions. But it is also funny because they recently had someone on the show that is also a pretty big Star Citizen investor. So, someone we can all relate to. Really entertaining, though. If you haven't seen Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer, highly recommend it. Watching it also bullied me into meal prepping. So, I was tempted to order some DoorDash, but then I was thinking, nope. If I was on Financial Audit, Caleb's going to yell at me. So I better not. So I just made myself a sandwich instead. And I went shopping last night so that I would actually have the ingredients to do that.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system. Your insurance claim has been sent.
5 more minutes. Okay, and then where did we say we were going to sell this? Magnus Gateway. All right, that's right. And I'm not crazy. That is actually here, is it not? Yes. Okay. We're good. Imagine if I sent myself to the opposite side of Pyro. Exactly what I was trying not to do. And then what can we get at... what can we get from Magnus Gateway? What do you have? Oh, let me cook. Got this. Oh, we can buy corundum. And copper? No, I don't see copper. Steel? Do you buy steel? They do not buy steel. Processed food. They do buy processed food. So we will prioritize corundum and then fill the rest with processed food if we still have the funds afterwards. And then that'll be our loop. Very simple loop. You could definitely make a more profitable loop if you're willing to do more stops. But seeing as I've never done this before, I want to keep it very simple for my reptile brain to be able to handle.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
Okay, it still has 3 minutes.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and start that though. And then I want to show you some updates to the website. Squarespace is not a sponsor yet, but I have been building a portfolio here. We released a new tool. I'm pretty proud of this. This actually took quite a bit of development time. This was the first project I started at Utah Airguns, and what you can see here is there's a valve stack. So a little stem with some Belleville washers acting as springs on top of it, and you're trying to grab the very tip of that valve stem. It can be very fiddly, and the previous tool was just a cut-off section of a ballpoint pen. This makes it a little nicer because it's a dedicated tool with a spring-loaded plunger, so that when you have successfully pulled out the valve stack, you can pop it out real easy. So it works for both pulling it out and inserting it, which is something you could not do easily with the ballpoint pen before. And it has a very subtle chamfer on the inside lip of this tip, so that even as it wears down, it will still just press farther onto the stack, so that it has a really long service life. What's funny is this design was a perfect example of how to destroy resin printers. This cap and stem are both printed as a print-in-place assembly. And what was happening is it was printing with this being the last surfaces that touch the bed. And you can see it kind of blossoms out, kind of like a suction cup. And so when you're printing hundreds of these in a batch, it was pulling apart our manufacturing partner's FEP films. So we added these cutouts and this drainage hole to dramatically cut down on the suction forces that could be generated. And now it works really good. We're able to get above 90% print success rates, so that's really good. But our technicians love this tool. Every time they use it, they tell me about it, and it makes me feel really good because they like it. And then I just finished this one today. This is part of a family of parts that allows us to show our customers the optics that we sell. So it's, in essence, when you pick up a scope, what typically people will hold it out in front of their eyes like this, and they're trying to get it lined up, but it's really difficult to do without having it on a rifle. But mounting every scope to every rifle is also not cost effective, and you don't want people swinging rifles around because it might not be safe. So what we did instead is took some empty stocks, put a dummy receiver block in them, and then I made this spring-loaded plunger that allows this Picatinny rail section to slide in and out of this cavity here. And then when slid on, the plunger springs up and holds it in place. And you can mount your scope onto the Picatinny rail, and it gives you enough assistance to be able to get a clear sight picture while holding the rifle. And so the theory would be that our sales team would mount a archetype example of each type of scope that we sell to one of these rails. But if the customer wants to see one that isn't mounted yet, or they want to see a particular reticle, then we have these speed mounts. And these come in different sizes, and they are, in essence, a integrated scope mount. You open up the lever, set the scope onto this half moon shape. There's enough space there that it will sit nice and stay in place without rolling off. And then you cam the lever over and pull the O-rings over the hook, and it locks in place. So it's a very simple mechanism, but it does a great job of very quickly getting a scope loaded so that you can show it to a customer. It's not going to be the most stable, like it's not level at that point. You would still need to do a proper scope leveling for the very best experience, but this gets you 95% of the way there, and the rest of that 5% wouldn't be noticeable unless you're actually firing a rifle anyways. So just finished this one this week. Pretty proud of it. And yeah, our sales team is super happy with it. Did I kill enough time to get our ship out? Yes, I did.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
Okay. Let's go get it. I'm so excited, and I just can't fight it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm a little excited for this, guys. I've never done this before. Never spent this much money on cargo before, either. If this goes south, I'm broke. I mean, I still have 1,000,000 credits. It's not the end of the world. I'm relatively broke. All right. Awaiting your arrival. What does that say? 10 minutes? Okay. Is this my box? There's someone in my box. Is that going to be a problem? I think that's the sound it makes. Waiting for extension of spindles. Nope. There's some shenanigans going on. Okay. Spindles extended. Now what? Do I need to call? Exit the box and re-enter. Okay. Unable to transfer. Oh, I think I know this one. You get out of the seat, and then it will recognize that you're not moving. Right? I'm stationary, dude. All right. What next? What's the next trick? Maybe wiggle the stick a little. I don't know. I'm not moving. What do we think, guys? Audio just cut out. I think I need to do the thing again. Okay, I'm gonna exit again. I'm not seeing any of these guys getting it either. let's fix the headphones. And I was really looking forward to this. I think there's still some things we can try. Starting with that. Oh, those pay $750 each. That would have been a lot easier.
All right, we're in the box. Move around a little bit. So sometimes the box won't trigger, and you just have to find that sweet spot. The server's lagging a little bit, so what you want to do is just like move just slightly, and there it goes. But you just move just slightly in one direction or the other. Don't go multiple directions. Just like tap your key or joystick to move one way or another, and then sit there for about 5 to 10 seconds. See if it'll activate it. And there we go. They paid me my $3 mil, I think. Definitely unloaded my cargo. Yeah, paid me my...
Okay. Okay. Well, this guy says align ship with the box as centered as possible. Stop ship and keep engines on. Get out of the seat and wait 5 to 10 seconds. The box will disappear and the loading will start. So maybe I wasn't waiting long enough. I'm going to try that. Hopefully that works. Oh, that was weird. showing them not extended. Hopefully it'll just re-extend them. Maybe I need to hit the button again. Don't see a box. It's gonna make me land again. I'll be quick. I'll be quick about it this time, though. I guess I was facing the wrong way. Okay. Alright. So picky. Jeez. Oh, still docking.
Docking concluded. Engines off.
Ooh, dock my own ship. Look at that. Growing up so fast. don't know if it's going to let me do this again. Oh, no, Galleria. Dang it. Oh, take me to the Galleria. I may have just lost 4 million in cargo. I don't even know how I'd initiate the transfer again. Can you do that from the cargo deck? Alright, move NPC. Out of the way. There we go. Yeah, that's true. I could load it into the C2. It's just going to take a while, I suppose. Dang it. Okay, but you're saying the Kovalex missions pay $750? Maybe I can just do those. Except I don't have them. I probably don't have high enough level, right? So for cargo trading with Hull C, you want to have a Hull C claimed and then buy it into the Hull C and pay for the auto loading via cargo deck. Yeah. Well, that's what I tried to do. It just didn't work. And I guess Alt F4 was not the right move. And no tractor beam on this guy. Okay, bulk grade missions. So, I guess we're going to be, grinding through some contracts. Dang it. Okay, well let's take this one. Let's take all the ones that'll go from here to Tisa. Yeah, you're probably right. I should probably do that. these missions aren't going to be that entertaining, are they? So, let's see. C2 doesn't have tractor, so I do for sure need... Oh, wait, but I have the Atlas. That's right. I'll use the Atlas. Let's go ahead and stow the Hull C.
To the ASOC vehicle retrieval. Your vehicle is in the storage facility. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle
Where is
has
it?
been delivered to the follow. Please visit us again. Goodbye. Your insurance claim has been settled.
Atlas and C2 don't like 32 SCU boxes because of the height thing. You think I should get a...
Please visit us.
Okay, I'll go get a max lift. Okay, let's close global chat. Looks like the price came down a little bit. That's kind of nice, actually. It's not 19K, it's 1850. And patch RC1 is likely to be coming later this week as it's closing in on the 20th. Probably right. Yeah, so, I mean, it's no big deal. I just need to move 3,000 SCU of cargo before then,
Vehicle retrieval system.
if I wanted to get it all back.
Your insurance
Right?
claim has been settled.
So the smart thing would probably have been to just spend like 1 million instead of spending 80% of my funds. But lesson learned, I guess. We'll know better for next time. The tough part is there's not really it's not really something that you'd know going in, I guess, in my mind. I'm kind of excited about having the Hull C and screw it up. Maybe that's just part of the learning experience, though. Bigger ship, bigger losses. Bigger risk. These have been in forever. And it's funny because there is actually an application for banking. I think it'd be cool though if they made this just do the same thing. All right. Well, thanks for giving me as much explanation as you did in chat. I appreciate it, Wills. Don't feel bad if we're keeping you up past your bedtime. Come on.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your insurance claim has been sent.
Bedtime's usually midnight. I'm just super tired today. What'd you do? Why are you so tired?
Please visit us again.
Yesterday, I went to the gym. I was pretty tired after that. Did my typical weight training circuit. Usually takes hour and a half. And then I swam for an hour after that. The doc wants me to get 150 minutes. And I go to the gym 3 days a week. Tuesday, I do weight training and a little bit of cardio. Wednesday is just cardio. And Thursday is more weight training and cardio. So, just had to get a whole hour in to make sure I hit my 150. And that's a lot of swimming. That is a lot of swimming. Getting better at it, though. Played Honkai Star Rail. And I'm just tired out my brain from trying to understand the story. So many words. Yeah, I'll probably do that before I log off tonight. Just claim all the ships.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your insurance claim has been sent. Thank you.
Well, when are they switching to having all ships be entitlements? Because that's supposed to make it so that we don't lose things anymore. Alright, good night, Wills. Get some rest. Oh, wait a minute. They are not here. Ah! The cargo's gone! All right. I guess we are doing these missions after all. That really, really sucks. 4 million gone.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
So I think what we'll do is we'll complete these 2 missions, and then I think we're going to call it good
Thank you.
for tonight.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Please visit us again. Welcome to the
Terminals
ASOP
are
vehicle
buggy.
retrieval system.
I, like, forget that you're using them. That's what hangars are good for. A little power nap while you're waiting for the ship to come up. And this is the patch with the... Yeah, I mean, it feels a little faster. Alright, thanks for hanging out, Draconis. This is exactly the kind of stuff, though, that I was hoping to avoid doing cargo. Hull C was supposed to make it easy for me, man. I wanted to be making big money with little effort. And I do think it's a little silly that a premium brand like Crusader does not have a tractor beam. think CIG needs to just get around to adding one. Okay, yeah, it is definitely faster. Now that I'm using it, it's like, okay, it is pretty significant. Especially the forward and back. Rotation feels quite a bit better too. Almost done. Okay, what happened there? I knew it fit. Come on. I didn't place these right. I know it doesn't make a difference, but it would bother me. That's the difference. It's not going to bother me that much. I've got more boxes. Nope, there's one more. Now we get to do all that in reverse. Yay!
Crusader Industries, a journey worth taking. Systems on. Launch. Shields off. Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete. Quantum travel engaged.
Kind of a weird path. Made me jump planet first. I think it usually does that.
Quantum travel complete.
There we go.
Engines off.
Alright, probably should have done it facing the front. Oh. You know what? Part of it was the click rate of my mouse wheel. Look at this. I just switched off the clicky mode. Ooh. We're flying now. If this isn't a endorsement to get a G502 with the infinite scroll wheel, I don't know what else would be. Go. Hope these stims still work when they've been bounced around. Okay, that's the last of them. And that's another okay. So if anyone was counting for the stream, go ahead and update your tallies. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Subscriptions are free, and it does help the channel. Helps me make more riveting content like this. And special shout out to our channel members. And Orbital Bombardiers and Up get a mention in each and every stream and video that we do. And for some reason, that's making my camera super small. Not sure why that is. But thank you, John Best and the Prime, for your financial contributions. Means a lot. Other than that, like, share, comment, subscribe.